What's up, everybody? This is Ghostman 3 and Caesar. Okay, now what we're doing is I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube about shells and what to do and what not to do. Well, I got my first gun at 4, which of course was a little 22 pump action. So got my first pistol when I was 6, was a little 22. And it just kept growing until finally I ended up finding a job that wasn't a job. I'm a gunsmith. So you will hear gunsmiths talking this, talking don't do that, this, that. Well, gunsmiths don't make a lot of money. So I started out by knowing what to do kind of cheaply. So today, all I was going to do, because I've seen people asking questions and not asking questions and asking questions. So, alright, there's 2 different things. What we got is your standard Remington birdshot. Just, your standard pellets. And, oops, sorry about that. And if you're aiming at somebody from about 50 yards away, they might catch 6 or 7 pellets. And, that's not very effective. So, I have a Remington Express. Holds 5 altogether. So, I do put a standard load in. That way, I can fire in the air or whatever. As a warning shot if needed. But, at nighttime when I cut off my lamp, there is not birdshot in it. So, instead of going and buying all these rifled slugs, which I do have, what you do is you take your standard Remington slug or shell, and then I take a razor or a knife and just cut the top. Then what we have here are the 32 caliber discs that came out of my 410 for my judge. So the cheaper way to go about it, since I have 8,000,022 rounds, is to just simply take the slug off the top of a 22. And I have a smelter also, but a lot of people don't. So you can actually melt these down if you wanted to and turn them into one great big round. You can round them out, whatever. But we're not doing that. What we're doing is, if you have birdshot and you want something more good for self-defense, or something that's really kind of going to do some damage, okay, dump the pellets out and then replace them with the 22 slugs. Now, I also have standard size BBs, which will do the trick a little slightly better than the small pellets, but I will use regular BBs, or for instance these pellets, to kind of fix the space situation. But everybody's main question is if they can or can't. Well, yes, that's the simple answer. But you want to make sure that when you get done making your load, pick up a normal round that you just used and pick up the round that you just made. If the round that you just made is heavier, then take something out of it, because if it's heavier than the round was to begin with, there could be problems. But again, so as you see, you just cut the top off and put ball bearings or the 22 slugs or the discs, or I've even used marbles as a slug. I make LTL rounds, which is beam bound rags and things like that. I've made my own dragon's breath. So I've done all this without being hurt, and I would never put anything on here to hurt anybody. So I have done all this, and it is safe, just as long as you do not make the round heavier than it was before. So do that, and then instead of folding that end back over and crimping it, I took an old paraffin wax heater that people put their feet in or whatever, and I got it. So I let it melt the wax pretty good, and then I will either, if they're secure, I will just dip the end in wax, or I will take a spoon and just pour the wax in there, as it makes it airtight, watertight, and will stay in there. But there's about a quarter of the resistance holding it back. So when you fire it, it has a higher velocity because nothing's holding it back. So you cut the top on off, pour a little wax in on top of that, and make sure it's even, and basically you've got some double-aught buck. And also, if you don't have any of these things, check out how to make slugs on my next page, which will be under Ghost Man. And that's how you do it. That's fairly simple. And if you see my other one, you will see me fire them off. So that's that. Signing off.